Let's do a studio tour. These are cool, right? All the cool kids are doing studio tours. There's literally not a good shot of my studio because it's so small. But I'm gonna take you through it. I'm gonna take you around and show you the things and all the cool like shoe boxes that I use to like hold things up. But I got my digital, and then I can turn, and I've got my analog. And so I was gonna kind of take you through all of that stuff. Got some art on the walls, and some books, and some toys, and some equipment. So I was gonna take you through like the equipment that I use and where I put things and why, because I've changed up my studio a few times. So let's do it. So this is my Cintiq that I got in 2012, used on eBay. And what I've got going on here is those are bed risers that I got for like $4, and a piece of wood that holds up the keyboard. And then over here we've got Doc Martens shoebox that holds my mouse. And this desk, my dad made this desk, so I drew it up and designed it. But like all the stuff originally was in this little thing underneath before I got that giant tower, because I was working off a Mac Mini. Anyway, I like the desk. It's a good desk. And I checked these out from work. So this is an NX100. That's not mine. And then I've got these lights, which I have one there. And then if you flip around, I've got another light on a tripod there. And then lately I've been sitting in this chair or standing on this pad. And so got the pad, got the chair, depending if I want to sit, stand. And they're both kind of at the same height. And if I come over here, this is for like live streaming and stuff like that. This is a Blackmagic ATEM, A-T-E-M. And this is an Elgato Stream Deck. And so those two do that. And I really like my mic. So I'm running off of a Razer Siren. And it's got a little just articulated arm, so I can just kind of like move it and position it wherever I want. And of course, while I'm filming it, it falls apart. But normally, it does not fall apart. Stick that right back in there. But that kind of goes in there. And then I've got the mirror that I can kind of pull off the wall in case I need to like see what a face looks like. I feel like most artists have like a weird, embarrassing mirror situation where they pull funny faces. And then this little contraption originally was how I held my mic up from the ceiling as if I was some kind of like old-timey boxer announcer or something. But now what it does is I can kind of slide these things around and they stay. I love this thing. It's just a bunch of like elastic straps. And so when I'm working on stuff, I can just hang it there and it's just accessible. This is just paracord. Some awards, an opposable figure so that I can like do stuff. Flat files, we'll go through the flat files a little bit later. And this is where I do my live streaming. So this is the angle that most people are used to seeing. A little bit of bookshelf, a little bit of drawing table, a little bit of artwork. And my Cintiq is just right here, and that's usually how I do that. This drawing desk I got off of Facebook Marketplace for like 25 bucks, I think. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a piece of crap, but it works. But this lamp is awesome. I can't remember the brand, but it's a really nice one. Hold on. 5 with a pH, great lamp. Tap there, and you can tap and hold and it'll get dimmer. Tap and hold again and it gets brighter. But I really like that lamp. I installed these bars, and these things, they just lift up or slide around. And so if I ever want this, I can take this stuff and move it over there and vice versa. And I love these things. These are Camvate attachments. Camvate is really awesome. So I have this, and I have those attached back there too. You can kind of see them underneath there. And then I have my bookshelves. Okay, so let's do some art. Okay, start with the first 2 pages that I ever bought. Ryan Otley's Invincible, which I have on the shelf right there. right there. Anyway, phenomenal page. Big establishing shot. You can see the blue line pencils and then the tightened up pencils. And I love that he kind of breaks the panel there. And then over here, this is where Ryan drew Mark fighting Dinosaurus. And what really drew me to this page was, if you look really closely, let me see if I can change the lighting here. Does that help? Yeah. If you look really closely, you can see all of the red and blue perspective lines that he drew underneath the drawing to get all the buildings and everything correct. So really like that. Here is a BPRD Russia Tom Crook page. I really liked the cannon. That's why I got this one, because that cannon was really well done. And I like the idea of having kind of a stamp signature. Kevin Cross did a cover here, and so I grabbed that one. And so that's pretty cool. You can kind of see a lot of the detail is pretty dang awesome. He does something that I do where he pencils and then prints the pencils out, I believe. Okay, and then here is one of my Sean Crystal pages from Ink Pulp Audio. And this was a Mother Panic page, which if you haven't read Mother Panic, it's pretty cool. It takes place in Gotham. I like that. I went through a phase where I was grabbing a lot of pages that had explosions in them because I wanted to see how they handled explosions in vehicles and things. And he's got such a fluid line, and his dry brush is cool. Cool page here. Forget the artist, I'll have to look it up. Lots of incredible work. If anybody can decipher that signature, that would be helpful. But anyway, lots of great detail there. If you look really closely, you can see the whiteout that he used to kind of spray what's going on there. And you've got a lot of like really cool whiteout stuff going on over the top. And the hatching is pretty amazing with some whiteout splatter going on there to kind of roughen everything up. Here's one by Clay McCormick. Let's see, right about there, 2016. Really great. Again, blue line, nice, clean drips going on there that he's kind of like inked around some whiteout. And this is from his book Rumble, which is awesome. I love that book. I bought this from Josh Cruz, The Night Nurse. And then we've got Arkham Manor. So this is Arkham Manor, issue 3, page 11, and this is another Sean Crystal. I'm trying to see if we can get a full shot in there, but you can see the different panels going on. Let's see if I can get a different angle here. Some speed lines. That's Batman in disguise there. You can see a lot of the detail. Really good. Love that stuff. This is a Joelle Jones page. So you can see this is from her book Lady Killer, which is phenomenal. And I mean, just the way that she draws old people is awesome. But then, I mean, she has kind of a mid-century illustrative style. Not cartoon modern, but like the actual illustrations that would go in advertisements. I love it. But then in the background, you can also see a lot of the detail in the architecture. And it's just incredible the amount of detail that she's got going on in these pages. And she does expressions really, really well. I mean, we see this guy's hearing aid. She's got the bold lines kind of separating him. You know, incredible cars that look like they're actually driving, and you can see the sound of the siren in those little loops. And her signature kind of splatter. She splatters every page. Then we've got another Sean Crystal here. Didn't realize I had so many Sean Crystals. But this one is really good. This is another one from Arkham Manor. There's Batman. I've got an actual Batman. That's kind of fun. This is Sean Gordon Murphy. And I couldn't afford one of his pages today, but I happened to catch him before his pages were ridiculously expensive. And there it is. There's a Sean Gordon Murphy, 2012. This is from Punk Rock Jesus, and you can see the vehicles. There's the bike that his character draws or rides. He draws it. The buildings, and you can see, like, it looks like there's a ton of detail, and then you get in there and you realize that some of these buildings are just the hint of a building. But he does it in different ways, so you get different types of architecture, and then we get crowd scenes in here, and with atmospheric perspective, as everything moves away from us, it gets less detailed. Anyway, good stuff there. And then I've got another Sean Gordon Murphy page. Most people don't know about this, but he did one time, and I think he was trying to set it up, he did a get-together deal where you could go and stay at his house for, I think it was a few weeks, and he would teach you how to do stuff. And they made something called Cafe Racer. And so he loves drawing vehicles, and I love motorcycles, and so you can kind of see the motorcycles there. And I mean, I just love the detail. Just to give you an idea of size, there's my finger. And I mean, just look at how fine those lines are. Just incredible detail there. And again, this gets motorcycle and explosions. Can't get much better than that. There's a plane crashing right there. That's pretty awesome. Get some top-down view, some jumping, some speed lines. Nice silhouette against the explosion. Another Joel Jones page. This one is from Helheim, or Bride of Helheim? I think it's Helheim. Anyway, good book, followed up by Bride of Helheim. But again, her splatter, all that jazz, nice folds going on there. So that's cool. Jason Copeland, that's who did this one. He's doing Dread and some other things. Did Kill All Monsters, and he did this Hellboy. And you can kind of see just details, real kind of fluid line, really based on motion. Everything is moving in the direction to kind of all the strokes are moving in the direction of the line work of the motion. And so I just like this one. Yeah, so that's a great piece. And then down here, got good old Tommy, a little commission. He did did a lot of stuff, but he did the Game of Thrones graphic novel adaptation. Then over here, bookshelf, bookshelf, bookshelf. We got kind of the toys, and so we'll kind of go through some of this stuff. Earthworm Jim figure, the Max, Sam Keith. That was huge, huge inspiration for me. Liquid Television on MTV. That was awesome. Invincible, some Star Wars and Pacific Rim. Got some of these guys. Some of these guys. 300, another big one for me. Hellboy's awesome. Abraham Lincoln. Huge Abraham Lincoln fan. Darth Maul. Goku. Picked up a Mandalorian in an IG-88. Or IG-11. And then these guys are awesome. That's the Spider-Man Noir, which my hipster statement of the day I was into before Into the Spider-Verse. I have proof of that somewhere. Over here. Where is that? Somewhere in there. There's Spider-Man Noir. Storm. And Street Fighter stuff. So I set it up like this so that I could kind of maximize the space. It's not a huge room. And so I can be working away over here. I've got my mouse. Everything's accessible. So all of this adjusts, it moves, it can swing out of the way, it can come over. You know, I can reach over and grab, you know, whatever tool or whatever I'm using. This can come with me over here, like that. Okay, and I can flip around. I storyboard really large. Well, I mean, I storyboard really small, but on really large pieces of paper. So if I'm animating something, I can be da-da-da-da-da, check the storyboard, come back. And then if I want to, I can stand right up, continue to work, because this kind of adjusts back and forth. And this chair, I can pull out here and just work like at the table, but still have access to the computer. And so I've tried to like optimize this space. Basically this is like a command center. And I mean, even down to like, let me show you, even down to like mounting my headphones on the wall, so that I can just take them off and just hang them up on a hook. And like stuff like this, it's on wheels, so it can kind of go everywhere. Like most of the stuff in here is on wheels so that it can be wherever. And like you just saw, I can control everything from there. I don't have to get up and turn the lights on and off because I've got them all like linked up. So that's the studio. One of the things that I wanted to show you though, I'll go get it. One of the things that I wanted to show you was, I was gonna get the box. I'm wearing the socks. Is I normally come in here and it's in the basement, so it's a little bit colder, hardwood floors. Not hardwood, I think it's fake, but it's hard floors. They're not carpet. And it gets a little chilly, and so I have a heater directly on my feet. But I got the coolest thing. Like I said, it snows here a lot. Here's my neighbor pulling his kids through the street, not a random field, but our street. And this is the view outside of my studio half the year. And so it's really hard. While I was animating this and dreaming about being on my motorcycle, this is what I was looking at in February. And then I thought, yeah, February's fine. But actually, then it snowed again. This is like March, and you can't ride when the road's wet. If there's any ice or anything on the ground, I can't ride. And so then April, middle of April, April 14th, I was like, oh, it's snowing again. But the road dried. And that's the same day that this stuff came. So I love this stuff. It's so good. So I tried it out. So I threw it on underneath my leather jacket, and I turned it on the highest setting. It was 30 degrees when I went out. And you can kind of switch through the settings. And then I rode, and it was pretty comfortable. It doesn't heat everywhere. It's not like you're wrapped in coils. There are some hot spots, but the nice thing is you stick the vest under a jacket, and it warms up your whole torso, which is really good. Add the socks to that, and you've got from like the knees down. So anyway, highly recommended. Really comfortable ride, even in the cold, and great for the studio. So I love it. They sent me these socks. These socks are the most comfortable socks I've ever put on. Even before you turn on the like heated element, they're incredible. I mean, they're thicker. So if you've got kind of tight shoes, it's a little tough. But they've got these little pockets where there's a little battery pack, and they just heat up. But super nice. That's my studio, and that's kind of the thing. I'll do probably a day in the life at some point. I'll kind of take you through kind of some of the functionality and stuff of some of this. But yeah, because I think it'd be cool to. I kind of want to talk about like my setup, my live streaming setup, because I've got a pretty cool series of cameras and equipment that kind of makes it so that it just adds extra professionalism to all of the things that are going on. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you've got a link to like a studio walkthrough of yours or images or something, I'd love to see it. So you can like leave that in the comments. I don't know if they let you or whatever, but anyway, we'll catch you next time.
This is Otley.